Peace and love. Welcome to August. Welcome to the Leo and Virgo seasons. This is your numerology message for the collective for August 2026, presented by Supreme Numerics. And Supreme Numerics is the practical study and application of numerology to help you activate your personal power and abundance. And this month's message is called Thought Leading for Influence, using your mind to inspire humanity. So I was going through the numbers and I saw in the universal month energy, as well as the numerics of the word August, there's a bunch of leadership, public communication, and mind and mental numbers throughout. And I thought this message would be also relevant since we have a lot of people from social media to the political landscape using their platforms for expression and influence. That's always been the case, but recently it's been especially polarizing and important to address. So you got Trump going crazy, of course, as usual. But on social media, you also got so many opinions, commentary, hot takes, and popular opinions, and even people who just say wild, out-of-pocket things for engagement. They may not even believe or agree with what they're saying themselves, but they'll say it or post it just to get a reaction and a rise out of people. Because attention is the new currency. Literally. Meta is out here cutting checks for reactions, comments, and reposts. Controversy is popular, so unfortunately, a lot of what's being said isn't true, kind, or necessary. I talked about those 3 gates of speech a few months ago in May's message, but let's go ahead and get deeper into the numbers. Looking at the universal month, when we add 2026 to the 8th calendar month of August, that adds up to the number 9. So August is a 9 universal month. When we add up the sum total of the word August in 2 of the primary numerology alphabets, it adds up to the number 23, which reduces to a 5 in the Chaldean system, and it adds up to a 17, which reduces to an 8 in the Pythagorean system. This 23-5 and 17-8 represent the expression of the word August, where August is here to share with us or teach us. The vowels, which denote the soul or the inner meaning of August, add up to 13-4 in Chaldean and 7 in Pythagorean. The consonants give us the outward impression of August without us going beneath the surface. Very interesting, in both the Chaldean and Pythagorean, the consonants add up to 10, which is a 1. The 9 universal month reveals that a couple of the major themes of this August cycle are inspiring others through leadership and performing acts of service to others. Leadership is there in the number 9. The number 1 is also a leadership number that shows up in the consonants as well as the first letter in August. The first letter of any name or word is known as the cornerstone number that sets the foundation for the rest of the name or word. And it represents the point of view of that name or word. The letter A is a number 1 in both systems. That 9 and those 1s are working in conjunction with the 23-5, 17-8, 13-4, and 7 found in the expression and soul urge numbers. And this is where a bit more leadership along with public communication and the mind come into play. According to Chaldean numerology, 23 is smart, witty, and mentally sharp. According to the book Numerovation for Mental Stability, the number 23 is a promise of success, help from superiors, and protection from those in high places, from both a physical and spiritual perspective. In other words, the balance of both worlds with compassion, love, focus, and the willingness to stay creative will enable those connected to the number 23 to expand, grow, and excel in all their endeavors, end quote. Through spreading knowledge and motivation, you're not only contributing to someone else's development, but you're contributing to your own growth and development as long as you're doing it out of love and compassion. As a single digit, 2 + 3 = 5. The number 5 is a number of communication, media, and dealing with the public. So the energy for August is telling us that this month, we should be inspired thought leaders, using our intelligence and not our ignorance, combined with strong communication to motivate and inspire humanity. The 17-8 expression number in the Pythagorean system supports this message, as the 17 in compound numerology, as explained in the book The Secret Science of Numerology, describes 17-8 as a spiritual leader using his or her mind, intellect, logic, and intuition for justice. And justice relates to the number 8. The 13-4 from the vowels adds power, passion, and creativity, balanced with structure from the Chaldean perspective, and additional logic and intuitive energy with the 7 from the Pythagorean perspective. There's definitely a spiritual side throughout all of these energies. 7, 8, and 9 are all spiritual numbers. Even when we go back to that 23-5 and deal with the number 5 in tarot numerology, that's the Hierophant or the high priest, another spiritual leader. And here's what's said about the Hierophant in the book Chaldean Numerology for Beginners. The Hierophant 5 is usually regarded as a powerful and sometimes religious figure who exerts tremendous influence over a large group of people. He can be read as the saving grace, the one who provides proper law and tradition in order to maintain and sustain control over the various characters and personalities under his domain. As mentioned, one of the redeeming factors of this number energy is its natural balance point, or the ability to maintain order through chaos. And the Hierophant acts as the speaker of the house. He leads the masses and lays down divine order to counterbalance chaos. This isn't to suggest that you need to be a religious leader or figure or express your thought leadership from a religious perspective, but you have to examine yourself and make sure you're tapped into spirit, because inspired thoughts delivered with integrity can't come from a soulless being or a negative spirit. And the Hierophant relates to seeking and providing guidance and learning in this very spirit of thought leading. All of these frequencies need to coexist in order to effectively thought lead for influence and inspire humanity. The passion in your leadership, the strong communication, the right and exact accurate knowledge, the intuition, the logic, the good spirit. The Apostle Paul tells us in Romans 10:2 that the Israelites were zealous for God, but their zeal was not based on knowledge. And the danger in misdirected zeal in any context, not just biblically, is destruction, conflict, exhaustion, lies, and trick knowledge. And we already got enough of that on top of life already being hard as hell right now. And some of us are even noticing that it feels like we're living in the movie Idiocracy right now. If you haven't seen that movie, check it out. But the point is, we need influential thought leadership to inspire humanity now more than ever. With all of the nonsense going on, and with all of the depressing things going on, all of the violence, all of the killings, all of the conflicts, the wars, the insane economy, the extreme weather, we can all use some inspiration right about now. The last thing that I'll say is that it's all hands on deck, and you don't need to have a large following or audience to answer this call. You don't need to hold a formal leadership position. You don't have to have a YouTube channel, TikTok, Substack, IG, or Facebook page. You can just start with yourself and then your immediate family, friends, co-workers, and neighbors. Think of the parables of the lost sheep, the lost coin, and the lost son. We can rejoice when just one person is inspired. Who will you inspire this month for the greater good of humanity with your knowledge, ideas, and downloads? This has been your August 2026 numerology message for the collective, brought to you by yours truly, Supreme Numerics. And Supreme Numerics is the practical study and application of numerology to help you activate your personal power in abundance. Make it a great month. Continue striving to be the best version of you, and I will see you in September. Peace.